G'day, Phil Britton here from Martial Arts Business Success, and we got Graham McDonald, as always, the most dynamic guy on the martial arts, not just the floor, but as a business coach as well. How's that for an intro?
Man, you're a superstar. I love it.
Well, we're here again for another podcast, delivering you guys red hot tips, tools, and strategies on how to take your business and your life to new heights. And today we're talking about how to get your instructors to take the load or share the load. So pretty much at the end of the day, you can steer your ship and not be stuck in the engine room. Graham, what do you got?
Look, this one's a curvy one. Some people that are going to be listening don't want to let go. They don't want to let go. They get stuck thinking it's their baby. You know, you've got to really think back and think, right, what's the outcome? Where do you want to be? Begin with the end in mind. You'll hear us talk about this often. There are certain things that you don't want to let go of, and that's fine. But you then got to understand that the only way a person, an instructor, is going to grow and have fulfillment in your school is if you give them responsibility. Allow them to be able to experience what it's like to make decisions, but also own those mistakes if they are made. So first and foremost is identify what you're willing to let go of initially. It's a scary process. I know myself and Phil have many a time when we've been doing this, taught every single class in the place and thought the business will collapse if we ever let another instructor do it. But now we actually are at a point where we don't teach any classes. It's been a transitional point and we've trained our staff to take that responsibility and that load, and people love their classes even more than what they do ours now, which is a really exciting place to be. But very first and foremost, what is it that you're willing to let go on? And obviously try and make sure that you're training your guys to, understand the responsibility, understand the process, allow them to run, and then review what happens after they've done it to make sure that you can give them really solid feedback.
Just a little bit of almost a fact here, because we have coached and helped people who have been, say, 20 years in the game, right? And what's happened is they literally didn't want to let go, or they just enjoyed it so much. They love their business. I mean, we do what we love for a reason. So why would we want to get out? Well, what happens if they don't have that begin with the end in mind mindset? They end up 15 years down the track. They're 20 years down the track. They're too old, so may I say it, and don't have the patience or the ability to then train the new group or the new guys to come through and take that responsibility. And we get it all the time, don't we, Graham? We have people come to us and go, "I've had enough now." Like now. I've had enough, I want to get out. And I was like, well, geez, man, it takes a while to grow your team so you can jump out. It's not just happens in a year either. It took us a good 4 years, so we were being able to get to this position. So the thing is, we just began with the end in mind very early. And I remember, this is a fact. So when we bought our business, and we went into business for each other, and we put out photos everywhere. Our names were on all the flyers. It was like the Phil and Graham show, because this is our business. Everyone will come here because of us. And then, you know what? Probably about after 2 years, and it did grow exponentially, and it was amazing. But what happened was everyone did want to be there with us. And the minute that we weren't there, like even if for a toilet break, people were like going, "Where's Phil and Graham? Where are they? They're not here today." And it was like panic stations. So we quickly realised that, we need to, if we want to be able to be the people that we want to be, not just for ourselves and our business, but for our family. Because, we had young kids, and we didn't want to be, the same old story of their marriage breakup because you were always at the business, at the dojo, and your kids never see you, your wife doesn't know what you do during the day and night, et cetera, et cetera. So we were very clear early on that we didn't want to be the face of the business. We didn't, we still wanted to run the business and be in it, but we're very clear on the end game. And the end game is really where we are now. We just get to steer the ship. Graham said we don't teach any classes. Well, that's a lie. We do teach them, but only when we want to, when we feel like putting on our gi, when we want to put on our belt, when we want to start doing Muay Thai because we want to, not because we have to. And that's the difference that makes a difference.
Hey guys, just for you guys that are listening into this and watching this, you've also got to understand as well too, from the instructor's point of view or the staff member's point of view, if you do not let them grow, they will probably leave. And we have unfortunately had to wear that consequence in the early days. We hold things tight. We've got a creative personality, someone who's looking to grow, spread their wings, experience different things, and we haven't allowed that. We stifled their creativity, and they've moved on. They may not have moved on to start another school, but they certainly have moved on to find a career path or a different job role that gives them that creative fulfillment. So it's important for you guys that are tuning into this to understand that For them to grow, well, you need to let them. Now, I use a great example for our own kids and even my own personal journey. I'm sure yours as well too, Phil, on our martial arts journey as well. When you think of letting your kids ride a bike for the very first time, if you're forever there and you never ever let them fall down or experience that, you're holding them back. And when they finally get it, man, that's just that growth phase. They're able to tackle new challenges in many different areas, not just riding that particular bike. But also the metaphor in our business here is, think back now as a business owner, as a martial artist. Do you think you'd be the same person with the same skill sets if you never failed or never tried new things? Definitely not. So that's important for us as a business owner, to allow our staff to try new things and to have that same experience. So it's important not to hold on too tight. You'll lose some good people and they won't grow and reach their full potential.
Isn't that a really weird way to put it, Graham? Like, you've got to let your staff grow, but to let them grow, you have to let them fail. You know, is that like weird or what? You know, like, it's perfectly honest and it's true. Like, fail, the acronym, first attempt in learning. And you know what they say, failure is only failure if you don't learn from it.
Yep.
And another one for you guys is failure is the feedback for champions. You know, it's the food for champions.
Oh, look, I couldn't agree more. You know, a few martial artists, diehards. Don't forget, guys. You know, you don't block a punch, you get some really solid feedback. Okay, so again, hey, what's the feedback for the guys doing a job role? It's when they've done an exercise. Yes, there's room for improvement, but that's the feedback after the fact. And that's where it's important for you as the business owner, the lead mentor, is to be able to not step in and save the day and stop them from experiencing that process. But geez, you know, it's really important to give them some constructive feedback on how they can improve next time around.
Cool. So I'm going to give you guys some quick advice here on how we were able to do it. So yes, we didn't label our business the Phil and Graham Show anymore. We promoted our staff, like, more than us. So when someone came in asking about us or whatever, we would then over-promote our instructors. So that's another way. The second thing we did was, like we said, it's a slow process. So we were in the classes and we had our second instructor in charge, and you know, we would take 100% of the class and they would do the assisting role, again with everyone else. Then what we would do is we would give that person, I know many people do this, but you've just got to continue the process. Give them 5 minutes of the class while you take another part of the group. And then that 5 minutes turns into 10 minutes. And then what you do is, then you say, oh, you know, little buddy, you know, you've got this next 10-minute drill, and now you're sitting in the stairs or in the chairs with the parents talking to them, again, promoting your staff member, saying, oh, look how little Johnny's doing so well, you know, he's been instructing with us for 5 years now, training with us for 10, look how terrific they're doing. And the parents like saying, yeah, they're amazing, I can't wait for my child to be like that as well. And you're pretty much creating an environment where the parents are saying it, or the students are saying exactly what you know about your instructors. And you just continue that process. It's like then 10 minutes turn into 15, 20, 30. Now, next thing you know, you're in the back office, either on a radio, looking in the video cameras, or through the reverse mirror, like we have at our school, checking on the class from afar. And then, guess what? Time to go on a holiday. I think one of the biggest lessons that we had was our first trip to America, Graham and I did. It was 3 weeks, I think, in total. Yep. And it was the first time we'd left the school for that amount of time. The beauty of having a business partnership is I would go on holidays, Graham would always be here, and vice versa. We took 3 weeks out, and you know what? We came back and the business grew without us. And we knew then we created a monster.
Hey, look, you know, it wasn't just a guessing game. For our guys who we've given that responsibility to, we also had outcomes. We had plans. They were able to follow a formula, so they weren't just winging it. They knew what they were doing. The nervous part was just them actually applying and actually doing it. So, you know, it wasn't left to chance. We gave very, very clear guidelines. And again, for you guys listening, even if it was the simplest task of being able to, run a sausage sizzle, geez, just there's some responsibility you want to delegate and empower your staff to do or your team to do. Well, make sure you give them an outcome, a way that they're going to do it, and then it's great to be able to give feedback if they've hit all those markers. So, you know, for us, class plans, outcomes, they're all listed so that our guys know exactly what they're doing, and it's very easy then to be able to give them an opportunity to shine in that area.
Yeah, I was just going to say, actually, Graham, like, don't just go hear this podcast and then go, to your instructor, oh, I'm not going to be here for 10 minutes, and you don't have a plan for them. The only way you're going to build a business that doesn't rely on you is the systems and procedures that surround that. So first, make sure you've got all that nailed, and then start applying and allowing your instructors or your staff to grow. The only thing I'd like almost finish on for this particular part, Graham, is what part of the load are you needing to disperse? Like, because there's almost a few areas. There's on the floor stuff, like instructing stuff, and then there's like admin stuff as well. So you might think that, initially I can't let go of the classes because they need me there for now, but what administrational roles can I pass on to someone who may not even be a student or a member?
Man, look, I know just recently I was speaking to one of our coaching clients, and he's trying to be a jack of all trades and doing most of them badly. So what does he need to do? He needs to, as the business owner, he's got skill sets that an assistant or a volunteer will never have. So he needs to put his time into the areas that are going to really give him the return on investment, whatever that may be. So making sure that he identifies. So mundane jobs of photocopying, stocking the fridges, little bits and pieces that are easy to delegate that somebody can be empowered and they can do. Moving up to answering phones, manning the desk, checking students in. There's the next tier level. So your administration processes. Geez, then you've got membership agreements and whatnot. So you really start to think, geez, one, yes, it's a process, but is that something I can easily delegate or again empower somebody to do? Or two, is that a skill set that someone needs to definitely grow in that role so I can hand that on and they understand? So, it is really important to first and foremost, and we probably said it right at the very start again, identify what are the areas first and foremost that are holding you back, what are the easiest ones to relinquish, share, and then work on the training plans to obviously get rid of some of those other big ones as well.
Yeah, awesome, guys. Well, I hope you got a lot out of today's podcast. We've enjoyed bringing this one to you. And in actual fact, this one came from a question from our good friend from New Zealand, Tom Cooper, from Cooper Karate. So hopefully we've given you guys some great information there. It's something that always comes about how to get people to take the load so I can move from the engine room to sailing the ship. So again, guys, we have that section called Ask the Boys. If you have any questions, queries or thoughts that you'd like us to talk about, answer it out. So just guys, send us through an email through admin@tema.com.au. Also, don't forget, guys, to leave your reviews on iTunes. That's what keeps us cranking when we get the reviews coming in. That gets us up, moving and grooving and giving you guys more podcasts, which is awesome. Social media, we're all over the place, so make sure you're members on our Facebook page, etc. And last but not least, don't forget, just for podcast listeners, so if you're listening to a podcast, we have a special offer for you guys. It's just $99 and you get access to our silver level and gold level, but you also get a free 1 hour coaching session with both Graham and myself. And you know what? The value of that, well, you never know what gold nuggets you might get out of that there. So if you're interested in taking us up on that opportunity there as well, guys, send us an email, admin@tema.com.au. And that's us signing out. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, team. We'll talk to you soon. Before I go, remember, Tema, believe, begin, become. Act today, believe in yourself, begin that journey and become, well, the best version of yourself.
Ciao.
Tema, innovating the martial arts industry.